Alright, so I'm here with my wife and she's going to set the line of how many pros she thinks I could beat tomorrow with my score. Okay, there's 109 pros who played the course in the first round. How many of their scores do you think I could beat?
I'm going to go higher than my original thought. I'm going to go with 9.
So you think I'm better?
It's good. It's 109 maybe.
It's like 10% of all pros in the tournament. I'm not even close to a pro, but you're going to think that I'll beat 10% of pros. I like that you're confident in me.
So like
I'll do my best with you. Okay. Okay.
All right, this is hole number 1 at the Preserve, par 4. Target score is +9. First shot, not great, did not go very far, so I have a pretty long second shot in, playing for par at this point. Throw a pretty good forehand to get in about 250 feet away. I'm just trying to really just chuck it up in the trees and let it drop, hopefully by the basket, and I almost accomplished that, except for the fact that it was stuck in the tree. So there you can see it. I just dropped it down and tapped it in for par. So pretty good start. Any par is always a good score on any one of these holes. Hole 2, really tight gap off the tee. Hit the gap, but it started turning pretty hard right, and it settled in a pretty open spot, so I wasn't too mad about that. And I got a really simple upshot left, but I shanked it, and yeah. So probably 40 feet left to save par, and no, not making that. So 1 over after 2, could be worse. Really long par 3 here. I was pretty confident I could get it within 50 feet, and I just was not throwing forehands well to start. Pretty short, pretty simple upshot, which I felt like I nailed, but again, about 30 feet short. Horrible putt, no power, no confidence, and tapping it in for bogey. So +2 after 3, not an ideal start. Got another par 4. This one got through, not in a terrible spot. I was pretty pleased with that. Really just playing for par on a lot of these par 4s. Form was terrible, but I'm in the gap, or in the mouth of the gap. I have a good chance here to get it through the middle, which I actually do. And honestly, having this putt for par is very nice. I'm very pleased with this. I need to see one of these go in, and I clank it with no confidence off the cage. So at this point, 3 over through 4, and I'm headed to one of the toughest holes in my mind, and it probably got in my head because I hit first available and go straight left, not very far. So I'm trying to just chip a forehand up somewhere, and I saw it off short. So now I'm in almost the worst spot, still really far away. This was a really nice forehand upshot though to the foot of the gap. Another pretty good gap hit. And I leave myself a pretty close, well, 30-40 feet for bogey, and I clank off the top of the band. So double bogey there leaves me at 5 over through 5. At this point, I think I'm just completely in my head. I think the +9 is disappearing. That target score is not seem very doable. This hole was just not good. I tomahawked this third shot over the top just to get through all the junk and kind of leave myself with just a pitch up safe play for bogey. So another bogey, playing bogey golf, 6 over through 6. Again, the goal is +9. Here you can tell the course is tough. Someone else lost that destroyer in the pond. That was not my shot, but I tried to get it out. It was just a little too far in the middle. So another subpar forehand shot, and then the worst shot of the day so far, which is saying something because I've had a lot of them. But lose my favorite nuke in the water. Spoiler alert, that was the only disc I will actually lose, but this is turning into a blow-up hole. Rip a think that was my water disc, so I had no idea how understable it was, as you can tell. And I'm laying up for a double bogey and then tapping in here for a triple. So very quickly, I'm +9 through 7, and get to this hole, and I'm just thinking anywhere over the water, I'll be so happy, and it's going, and it's going, and it's going, and it's going, and it lands safe just on the path, and that is a huge confidence booster. This birdie putt, though, would be sweet to have. I'll leave it short. But back on the par train, first par since the first hole, and so I stay at +9 through 8. I really, this one glided a ways, but I'm just not throwing any of these forehands accurately at all. And it's tough when I'm also then completely messing up the upshots off of a not super close approach or a tee shot. Even that upshot was pretty bad, but it's close enough to tap in for bogey. So +10 through 9, that +9 mark seems impossible at this point. It looks like I'm going to be spinning the wheel, a punishment almost guaranteed, unless I can have a miracle back 9. This hole is starting off pretty well. Put myself in position. Up and down here puts me at a par, but went way too overstable with the Raptor. And almost impossible putt through the trees for par, leaves me with a tap-in bogey. Hole 11. Seeing as I haven't thrown a good full flight forehand flex shot the entire day, I'm not feeling too confident here, but yeah, I shank it. Way short, it rolls in the junk. Third shot with the OB stroke, I just pitch up there. And then my first really decent putt of the day was about 20-footer there. I sunk for bogey, so that felt pretty good. Hole 12. Speaking of feeling pretty good, this is the opposite of that. I shanked this one. I didn't get the camera shot, but I just pitched out for my second shot, so this is my third. Horrible form, all hyzer. Not feeling confident at all. I believe that was shot 4. No, that must have been shot 5 because I took a 7 here. That was shot 6. Tapped in for 7. So just like that, 15 over through 12. Get to hole 13. Not a hard hole, but you can tell my form is just breaking down. Horrible. This was pretty good, though. A nice little flex shot with the Raptor. Put it pretty close. Took a second to just admire the beauty of the course because it was amazing, beautiful. 7 a.m. right about now. Little flip with the disc there and tap it in for par. So first par since hole 8. That was third par of the day. Yeah, first available on this hole, and I can just tell it's going to be a long hole from here. It's already the longest hole on the course, 1,000 feet. I've thrown 2, and I'm not even across like the first little gap. So right there, I thought I was being smart by laying up, but I didn't realize there was another safe zone down below. As I shank that one way wide. I was able to find it, though. This is the worst hole today. I did not lose a disc, but I end up taking a 9 on the par 5 here. So at this point in the round, again, the +9 is out of reach, but I'm just thinking, all right, 4 holes left. Can I finish strong? I'm at +19. Can I get a string of pars here? And this tee shot snuck through, put me in a pretty good spot. Had an awesome approach shot here. I think I actually missed. That actually almost went in. Forgot about that. I missed one of the shots. I didn't record it, but that was for a par, not a birdie. My first shot was way shorter, but par there felt amazing. That was 4th par of the day. Get to hole 16, just trying to major league flex my backup nuke, which I did pretty well. Playing for par here. Give it a good run, put it pretty close, about 25 feet, and I put that one in more confidently. So 2 pars in a row, and I step up to 17, and I'm thinking, you know what? Why not just ace it? And so I let it rip, and yeah, terrible nose up. But I can save a par here if I'm careful. Do a decent layup to a little tap-in par. So 3 pars in a row, I'm feeling pretty good. Goal now is just don't lose a disc, and par here on the par 5 would be awesome. I managed to get that Twin Swords over the lake, so I'm feeling pretty good. I throw it again, Major League Flex, goes another about 350. So at this point I only have about 300 in, probably the easiest shot of the hole, and I just really yank it over there. So par at this point is looking tough. I got a little upshot here under the tree, about 100 feet. Ends up being pretty good, and I actually make the putt. So finishing with 4 pars in a row, pretty good, but I gotta spin the wheel of punishment. Here we go. Kind of nervous, but not that nervous. Buy the worst used disc. Huh. That's not too bad. I'll take that one. All right, it's called the number 1 driver, maximum distance flyer. That's an off-brand one. How much is it? Oh my goodness. And it's got a star by it?
I don't know what that means.
Maybe it's like do not use or something. All right, inaugural throw with the number 1 driver, maximum distance. First ever throw. Here we go. Oh, really low, but it was a little unstable. Not bad. Could be worse for the worst disc. Nice. Good forehand, Vince. I'm going to try to emulate what Vince did with the worst disc ever. Final throw. Thanks for watching. Here's a forehand with the number 1 driver, max distance flyer. So unstable, it turned into a roller, and it went like 350 feet. Yeah! Nice throw, buddy. That was awesome.